Hello everybody, my name is Amy. This is my channel, Snow Canyon Stitcher. And today is Saturday the 29th. I hope everybody's doing well. I thought I would do a Flosstube update. It's been about 3 weeks. I think the last Flosstube was episode 38. It was the day before the 4th of July, so I hope everyone enjoyed a, a happy and safe 4th of July. We did. We just grilled out, and we can't really, we can't do fireworks here because in the area we live in, fires start really easily. So they're kind of banned in our little valley area here. I mean, fires just start. It doesn't take something like a firework. So the fireworks would definitely probably set something off. So it just gets really hot and dry here. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for visiting with me today. This is a channel about cross stitch. Sometimes a few things like quilting and knitting pop in, but mostly cross stitch. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for visiting with me today and coming back. And if you haven't already, maybe like and hit the subscribe button if you're new to my channel. I was gonna do a mid-year whip parade today, but I am not prepared, and honestly I don't think I've worked on any of my whips, the ones that I haven't finished. I don't think I've worked on any of them. I will tell you that I started out the year with, I think, 15 whips, and I've started, up to this point, I've started, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14 new starts, but I also pulled a whip out of the forget me pile, so that makes that 15. So I've had 15 new starts, but I've also had, since the first of the year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 finishes. So I don't know if that puts me ahead or if it makes it even, but I just decided that I wouldn't do a whip parade because the ones that the earlier whips that I started with in the year, there are a few that I worked on, like Antong, Consider the Lilies, Cathedral Woods Goddess. The others, I haven't worked on them, and some of them were finishes, but there are a couple that whips I started out with the year that I will show you today because I have worked on them. So maybe that makes sense. I hope so. But I do have some new starts that I'm going to share today in today's video, and some new patterns. I do have an order that's out for delivery, and I was gonna wait until I got the order, but I was like, I'll just put it in my next Flosstube. It's been about 3 weeks, so I really need to get a Flosstube up. So this month has been kind of busy. With the 4th of July, we celebrated 4th of July. I did quite a bit of stitching the next 2 weeks. This month I was dealing with dentist appointments. I had, let's see, 1, 2, 3 dentist appointments this month to repair a crown that I needed repaired. And then I had another dentist appointment yesterday for just a routine cleaning. So this month has been all about visiting the dentist. When I would go back for another visit, it just seemed like I'd just been there yesterday. But this month we also, my husband and I and our youngest daughter, traveled to California to, I don't know what you would call it. He's accepting a new job in California, so we went to kind of scout out the area and see what was there. So it's close to Apple Valley and Victorsville. They're close to Route 66. We're not selling our home here. We're just going to, him and I are going to go and stay there where his new job is. So we'll probably just get, it's military. He's working on the military base, so it'll probably just be housing there. So we did that, and I was planning on visiting any needle workshops that were in the area and some thrift stores. Victorsville really didn't have a huge selection of thrift stores, no needlework stores. I thought I had found one, but when we followed the map, it wasn't there. So on the way back, we had to pass through Las Vegas, so I was able to stop in to Stitcher's Paradise, and I did buy some patterns there I'll share today. One of them actually I got as a new start, and then yeah, so that was fun. And then let's see what else this month. I think that's pretty much it. I forgot. I actually I had been working on my husband a quilt because he's a veteran, and I'm a quilter, and he does not own a veteran's quilt. So I was like, what a shame. So I figured I'd make him one. And I've been working on that this month, and I decided that I wanted to hand quilt it, but I didn't have a frame, and there was a couple of suggestions that I could have used, but I decided I would just build a kind of like a vintage style quilt frame. So I did work a lot on that this month. I did get it done a couple of days, this past Tuesday, which was the 25th. I got that finished, and I got it on the frame, the quilt, everything on the frame. And then I realized that I had made it just a wee bit too tall. So I had to take it apart, and I had to take it back into the garage and trim it down yesterday. I did that before I had my dentist appointment. And then I got it all back together last night, and I did stitch a little bit on it, but I was so tired. But I'm gonna share, I'll probably share a little bit of a video of what I'm working on with that at the end of this video. So anyway, that's pretty much what I've been doing this month. My patio garden, yeah, I mean, I had a really good start, but it's not doing so well. For some reason, they're just not growing. I have lots of peppers, bell peppers and stuff on the vine, but they're not getting any bigger. So I've given them plant food. So I don't know, but next year maybe better. Actually would love to transfer the garden out into the back area, so we have enough area out there I could have a really nice garden. I just gotta, in the meantime, find somebody that will, you know, prepare the ground. So maybe I don't know. We'll see. If we go to California, then I won't have a lot of time to work on it, so maybe I'll have one there. It depends on what we find there. And so, but yeah, that's the latest on my garden. So you're here to see cross stitch, and so I'm going to go ahead and get started with my whips that I'm currently working on, which is majority of the whip braid, except for a few that I've not worked on. So I'll go ahead and get started with it. So the first one, I watched Laura over at I Stitch Birds. If you have not visited her Flosstube channel, please do so. You're gonna love it. She is such a sweet person. Every time I watch her Flosstube, I just want to get on a plane, fly to Australia, and give her a big hug. She is super sweet. She works on a lot of kits, and she's just an amazing person, and I know you'll enjoy her Flosstube. Her channel's I Stitch Birds with a question mark. I'll leave a link in the description below. But I was watching her Flosstube, and she was showing a new pattern that she had gotten, and it's Plant a Garden by Doreen Jones. And I had started that pattern a couple years ago, I think during the pandemic. And I don't know, for some reason I put it aside and just forgot about it. I kind of was on the fence of whether I was going to finish it or not. It was always in the back of my mind. So when I was watching her Flosstube, I was inspired to go ahead, pull it out, find it wherever it was, and so I did. And I had to rekit it because I don't know what I did with the flosses. I had it kitted before, so I had to go and get more floss, and I did that yesterday. But it's called Plant a Garden by Doreen Jones. She has such beautiful patterns. I've stitched a couple of her patterns. She's on Etsy, and a lot of her pattern, I think maybe most of her patterns, you can download them and get a PDF file. But this is the pattern, and it's called Plant a Garden. And it says, to plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. And I just love that. It's by Audrey Hepburn. Okay, so I love that. I love Audrey Hepburn. And I am stitching this on, I believe, 16 count, and it's fabric that I colored. It's like a light blue. And this is how much I got done on it. And so after I went to Joann Fabrics yesterday and got all the flosses again, I sat down last night and decided that I would go ahead and start working on it. And I was doing the outlining or the back stitching, and I realized that there was something wrong in this little area right here. So I ended up taking a lot of that stitching out and correcting it. Maybe that's why I decided to stop working on it, because I had made a mistake and I thought that it would be too confusing maybe, but I did last night. I took it all out, stitched everything back the way it's supposed to be, and I feel like that was really good progress just for working on it one night, and got quite a bit done on that. So I had to sew some fabric around it so I could put it in my frame, but there it is. And these are all the beautiful flosses. I put those on tags last night. Just really, really pretty. I love playing with thread, especially when I'm kitting up a new pattern. I use poster board. So you can buy the poster board. I think it comes in all different sizes, and you can get a pack of poster board. And I just cut little strips 1 1/4 inch wide, and then cut the I actually use like Classic Colorworks floss tag thingamajiggies to measure how long to make them, and then I just use a hole punch. I think it's is it a 3/4 inch? I think it is a 3/4 inch hole punch. And then I have my crocodile that I put a hole on top. I love the poster board because it's nice and thick. And yeah, so there's all those colors. Really, really pretty. I'm excited. Thank you, Laura, for inspiring me to pull that out and work on it some more. Which I was talking about the flosses. I have kind of a dilemma. So I'll talk about it when I'm doing haul, but maybe you guys could help me figure out the best way to approach working with my floss. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I'm so sorry. I have a full finish. I think that's full finish. So I had worked on Seasons of the Heart, and I don't have a pattern with me. Do I? No. Oh, what did I do with it? I think it's still in my sewing room, but I was working on Seasons of the Heart Summer, and I got it finished. And so This is something I did also, was it yesterday or day before? I think it was the day before. Yeah, it was the day before. I just went ahead and FFO'd it. And I forget all of this stuff. Oh, this is vintage mocha that's called for. I used everything that's called for. And I decided I would put these little tassels around it. I am so in love with the tassel pillows, and plan on making me some of those. But I did the little tag, so I just cut the paper. This comes in the pattern, so you just trim it. It's in the back part of the pattern book. You trim this out, and then it says to just put it on, which it's kind of like cardboard, and you just punch holes and tie it onto the pillow. But I did back it with some chipboard and trimmed it out, and then just went around the tag with a gold paint pen. And then this is the back fabric I chose for it. I just love that. It's so vintagey. I love it. So there's that finish. I love this. I think this is my second pillow that I have finished. So let me show you my progress on Cathedral Woods Goddess. So didn't work on her a lot this month, but I feel like I made good progress on when I did stitch on her. And I worked on her last night. I've been doing a lot of beading because most of the top part of her is beading. There's not much floss. So because my goal was I was going to work on her and just do the stitching first and then the beads, but then I ran into that the most of the part up top is beading and Kreinik. So that's what I worked on with her, and this is how far I've gotten. So I was working on her necklace right here last night, putting those in there. I really love her. She is my favorite. I love the colors. This is fabric I colored myself. I wanted to use colors that would make it look like she's walking through the forest. Yeah, so I am so in love with her, and I try to stitch on her as often as I can. Okay, so the next one I want to share is, so this is a new start. Actually, one moment, I want to share my Consider the Lilies. Okay, this is another favorite, and I feel like I made some progress on my Consider the Lilies. And even though I made it my Sunday stitch, I find that I love to, when I think of it and I have the opportunity, I just work on it, and I'll just pick it up and work on it for like 3 days. I try to give Consider Lilies and Tong and my Cathedral Woods Goddess at least 3 days time to work on it. Oh, because of, I'll explain after I share. But here's Consider the Lilies. This is what it's supposed to look like when it's done. And this is how much I was able to get done. So I worked on all of this area this month. And I'm stitching this, I think some areas I'm stitching 1/2 and some areas I'm doing 2/2. And this is 40 count white, just white linen, but loving it, loving it, loving it. I love the colors, how the colors are coming out, and very cute motifs, very fun to stitch. I love this. I love this style of plant and the bird. Yeah. I could see that going into something else, another pattern. I just love it so much. So I feel good about the progress I made on that, and I plan on consistently working on it throughout the year, along with my Cathedral Woods Goddess and Antong. I don't think I got to Antong this month. Actually, let me look. Since I last spoke with you, no. Let it fuzzy. I don't see it on here where I worked on it. I did work on this, I know though, so I'll show that one. So let me grab that one. I'm not real prepared today. Hold on. Okay, this is, this was a new start. I think this was during Easter time, April, that it was a new start. It's This I Know by Paulette Stewart, Plum Street Samplers. And you've probably seen other stitching on this. And I did start it in April. It has, yeah. And I'm sure, sorry, I haven't ironed anything. I really didn't think I was going to be sharing this much. This is really pretty once it's pressed, but it's not pressed. I could go right quick and press it. This is how far I was able to fill in most of the grass. Who was I watching? I was watching someone. I am terrible. I should write down the names of people when I'm watching them. Maybe I should start doing that. But what she had done is she had taken one of the sheep and made it black. And I just thought, oh, what a cute idea. But I already had all my sheep stitched. So, but I just thought that was such a cool idea. But yeah, that's what I worked on. I just filled in grass and I'm almost done. Just a little bit more. And I think I figured up that I am 56% of the way done. Yeah, so I put in a total of 1,200 stitches this month on that one. And the flosses are so pretty. I'm using all the call for. So pretty. This is a new start, and this is a pattern that I ordered from 123 Stitch. This is not one that I got from Stitchers when we went to Stitchers Paradise, and it's a turkey. I needed something. I needed a turkey. I needed a pattern that was a turkey. Last year I started looking for one, and I settled on Turkey Day by Cottage Garden. I think this is the first pattern I've ever stitched by Cottage Garden. I'm trying to hold it with it's not a glare on it. Super pretty. Love him. Love him. And this is how much I was able to get done. Let's see, I worked on him. I started him on the 6th. No, the 5th. So the day after 4th of July. But this is all I got stitched, so colorful. These are all the colorful flosses. Love that. And I think this is just a piece of the fabric that I was using for this, I know. I think this is some coffee dyed. It calls for 40 count ancient linen. So that may be what this is. I always try to use what is called for. So that's probably what it is. Because I have quite a bit of that fabric on hand. I stitch a lot of things on ancient fabric. Okay, so the next one is, this is also a new start, and this is one that I got from Stitcher's Paradise. I love that store. Oh, it's 2 hours away, so it's quite a drive, and the highway I-15, it's not the greatest travel road or highway. For example, when we went to California this past time, there was just so much construction going on. I think a bridge, they were repairing a bridge, and there was just, it's, you know, I-15 going through Las Vegas to California is used a lot by transfer trailers and trucks, so which is fine. I'm thankful for them, but it's not the funnest travel. And so a lot of times when I think about going to Stitcher's Paradise, 2-hour drive, I'm not the best traveler when it comes to driving, and then 2, the highway that we have to travel on. So, but I do love the store. I enjoy going there, and they have a sitting area in the front where you can sit down and stitch together. It's super sweet. Very nice store. Loads of selection of different flosses. My youngest daughter and my husband went with me, and they were helping me pick out floss for a pattern that I'm going to share with you soon. And so just a wonderful store. If you're going through the Las Vegas area, please visit them. It's Stitcher's Paradise. Easy to find. But I picked up, make sure I don't share the pattern. One nice thing about this pattern is that it has a small version, like if you wanted to put it on your tablet, and it has a larger version. But it's by Barbara Anna Design, Dream and Frida, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of people stitching this one. Love the bag that they made that out of. But my youngest daughter was with me, and she saw this model, and she's like, oh, I love that. And I was like, really? I was like, you want me to stitch that for you? She goes, would you? And I was like, yes. So we got this one, and I started it on as soon as we got back. I mean, it was like the day or so after we got back, which would have been the 20th, because on the 19th, we got home on the 18th. On the 19th is when I went to Joanne and got the DMC that I needed for this. And then I started stitching on her on the 19th. And this is how much I was able to get done on that. I started in the center. I very seldom start in the center. Oh, kind of fuzzy. Probably not easy to see. There, you can see what I'm doing. I love the sun. There's a lot in this pattern that I didn't notice at first. There's a face in the sun, which is really cool. Love that. Very, very fun stitch. And these little houses that are in her hair. And it's stitched 2 over 2. But also, there's just lots of wonderful surprises in here. Maybe I won't point out some of the surprises that are in this pattern that way when you go to stitch it, you'll notice some of the surprises. So, okay. But I am using, I think it calls for DMC. Yep. And so on the 18th, I went to Joann's, and they're getting a lot better about having flosses. I was able to get all the flosses for Dreaming of Frida, and they're kind of in a mess. But this is what the colors are. It's so colorful, so pretty. And I'm super excited to stitch this for her. One of these days, I'm gonna be able to get her to stitch. She actually mentioned something about a smaller pattern, something that she could work on, something that's not overwhelming. And so I forgot, I really need to look and see what I can find for her. I had found her a cute cat on Etsy, but maybe it was a little bit too much. I didn't think it was a lot, but then I stitched, so I need to find something simple. Maybe a Christmas ornament. That's a good idea. It's just a little simple Christmas ornament. Okay, I'm going to show that one when I share my new patterns. So another pattern, so like I said, my husband and my youngest daughter went in with me to Stitcher's Paradise. Now in my mind, on the way there, I was thinking, what am I going to get? And I was thinking, So my genealogy tells me, so I did genealogy with Ancestry, and I did genealogy with 23andMe. So one of them tells me that I'm British Irish. I'm mostly British, but one tells me I'm British Irish, and one tells me I'm British Scottish. So I don't know for sure. My mom didn't know a lot about her side of the family. I know my dad's side of the family is Greek Italian, but my mom's side of the family, she just wasn't sure. So I could be Irish or I could be Scottish. There's definitely a difference. So I would really like to know which one. So anyway, I was thinking there's an Irish sampler. So I want to stitch an Irish sampler and I want to stitch a Scottish sampler. And I was thinking on the way there, maybe I will get the Irish sampler that I'd seen. I forget her name. Oh my God. On Hands Across the Sea on one of her Flosstubes. So sorry about that. I'm not good with names at all. I would forget my own name if I didn't. Well, anyway, she had shared an Irish sampler on, I think, not this last Flosstube, but the one before. And I was like, oh, I must. And so I was thinking maybe they'll have it, but they didn't have that. So while I was standing there looking at the Hands Across the Sea samplers, my husband was looking at all the models that they had on the wall, which is gorgeous. By the way, some of those patterns, those models, are just impeccable stitching. I looked at some of them were stitched on like 46, 56 count. Their stitches were perfect. Just like, oh my gosh, like a museum. But he noticed map of Hawker and Hollow. He's like, oh honey, why don't you stitch that? And so I was like, I don't know, it calls for a lot of flosses. And he's like, is it the money that you're worried about? And I was like, well, kind of, because yeah, it's MPI. He's like, don't worry about it. Get whatever you need if you'll stitch that for me. So I was like, okay, are you sure? But so yeah, we got map of Hawker and Hollow. And I didn't put them in the bags, but we went back to the back room. By the way, I don't know if you watched my video, but just in case, Stitcher's Paradise, I asked you if you could tell me where the MPI flosses were, and you directed me. You were sitting at the stitcher's table. I should have asked you your name, but thank you so much. There was a lady stitching at the table. It was a few ladies stitching at the table, and I asked her if she knew where the MPIs were, and she directed me, and she was right. That's where they were. But we went and we found all the colors. There is a huge selection of colors, and she had every one of them. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of like being in a library when you're pulling flosses there. It's really quiet, and there's these drawers. I'm trying to arrange it to where, but there we go. So that's a pattern that I'm going to be doing for my husband. And we also picked up 40 count tombstone linen. Let me take it out of the bag. This is such a pretty rich color. I kind of wish I had gotten more of it. Oh, and that's so true to the color. It's kind of hard. I don't have them in bags, but this is going to be so pretty. So pretty. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put the fabric back in the bag with the MPI silks. I think I've only stitched with the MPI silks once. So yeah, he's quite funny, my husband. But I was watching Flosstubers who were stitching on some of the Hawk Run Hollow patterns, and so I decided to pick up Christmas Hawk Run Hollow, Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow, and I think I'm just going to gradually kit this one. Yeah, so it's quite a few puzzles. Oh, maybe I have some of them already in here. That would be cool. But I gotta get fabric for it too. So those are those. I guess we're into haul now because I haven't started that one yet. So a couple more patterns that well, yes, I got these up. I picked up. My youngest daughter wanted this one too. She loved the girl with all the leaves in her dress. And it's called, it's by Silver Creek Samplers. I don't see a name on this one. But it's so pretty. And it says, she wears a dress. Does it have it on the back? It doesn't. Let's see if I can read it. She wears a dress of scarlet, red, and orange leaves from overhead that sparkle with a frosty glow, soon buried in a winter snow. And so I'm definitely going to make those letters darker. Not too much darker, but a shade darker. But that's another one I'm stitching for her. And then another one that I've been wanting forever, seems like, I picked up Redbird Sampler by Brenda Gervais. But I don't have the fabric for it or anything yet, so it calls for, I love the reds in this sampler. Actually, the reds are DMC. So I could probably, I don't know. It's fun, but I still need to get the fabric for it. But Redbird Sampler, love it. Oh, it's gonna be another favorite. Okay, so another pattern that I picked up, I bought this from 123 Stitch, and it's Modern Folk Embroidery Stitch Along 2023. I just picked up the whole pattern. Let me take it out though. I've seen several stitchers stitching on this. All the beautiful different colors that they've chose to. It only takes 2 colors. And all the beautiful colors that everyone is choosing in their fabric is just wonderful. I was inspired. I was enabled. And so, here's the pattern. You can see it a little bit better. I'm sure you've seen it already. And I also picked up the, what is it called? Alternative trees. And I decided that I wanted to stitch it on Ancient by Picture This Plus. And so I bought a piece of that. I think this is a yard. Half yard. So I picked up a half yard. And I decided I would go with 103s. Let me fold this back up. This is 634 and 299. Sorry, I'm not wearing my glasses, so that it would coordinate with the fabric. And it kind of looks like the colors in the pattern. So it'll look a lot, you know, like the pattern. So when will I start that? I'm not sure. But I'm excited. I'm excited for that one. That's gonna be a long-term project for sure. And it's so beautiful, so beautiful. And I love everybody's the ones they're stitching. The colors and the fabrics. It's just so fun, right? It's easy to be enabled with that one. And I think that's all of everything, honestly, for this month. I've done 2 floss tubes this month, so I really want to start doing more often. And so I have some goals with that. So I was going to talk about floss. So you know how you have everything bobbinated and then you're done with the pattern. What do you do with the floss? Do you just leave it on the tags? I did spend some time organizing my floss this month. I did. Wow. Let me grab it right quick and show you. Okay, so I had picked up these plastic tubs at Joann Fabrics and used a coupon. And so this month I spent organizing them. I had a lot of DMC, and honestly they were just in a plastic bin, all mixed together. Well, no, I take that back, because I had divided all the colors up and put them into Ziploc bags. So but I decided what I would do is I would put those by color in this container, which I did. However, when I would go to stitch a pattern and I was looking for DMC, I would have to look it up on Google to see what color it was, so I'd know which container to open to look for it. And that got really tiresome. So then I decided, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to organize them according to their number. So that's what I did this month. I took every one of these containers that had floss in it, one by one, and I just organized them into a number container. Now these are DMCs that I have not I just got a notification. Sorry. I haven't put these on bobbins. My issue is, what do you do when you're finished a pattern and you need to store that floss? Because I usually have a lot of floss left over. Right now, mine are just in a plastic bin, still on the floss cards. So being that I had to be in my bonnet this month organizing all my floss, I decided, well, maybe I could take them off of the little floss cards because I use pencil on those, so I can reuse them. I'd take them off and I'd put them on, I picked this up at Joann Fabrics, and I would put them on these little cards and I would store them in a notebook. So I really don't want to throw the floss away. So the issue is that I've already bobbinated them on the cards, so there are certain lengths. So I mean, I could just bobbinate them around those little cards with the length that it's at, and then when I'm ready to use it again, I could just unravel it and put it on a card, right? But if you have a better idea, if you know a better way for me to store those flosses, because I really don't have anywhere to store them, like on a ring, and they would get dusty, and in here we just have so much dust, it's crazy. So if you have a better idea that I could do, let me know. I think that's everything, guys. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel and visiting with me. I truly grateful, truly grateful. Sorry that I went 3 weeks again to do a video, but it is my goal to do one every couple weeks. So I hope everybody is enjoying their summer, and that a lot of you probably have children that are getting ready to go back to school. Our Walmart was a madhouse the other day. That was always fun time for us when our children were younger, taking them and getting them school supplies. But I hope everyone is enjoying the summer before school starts, and I hope that you're planning and going back to school. If you're a teacher or student, that it's easy, and that you're able to gather all of the necessary things that you need and some extra fun stuff, and that you have also some good stitching time coming up this next couple of weeks, just to relax and take a breather and do some stitching. Hey everyone, I forgot several things in this Flosstube, but one, I wanted to share the finish of the anatomical heart for my daughter-in-law. She loved it. It fit in the frame, kind of not as well as we were hoping, but I just wanted to share the finish with you. So here is the quilt stand that I worked on this month, and I have the quilt loaded on there, and I have already started doing the hand quilting. Everything's kind of in a little bit of a mess, but I have started doing some hand stitching right here. You may not be able to see it. Yeah, I think you can see it right here. So I stitched all along here. I'm using number 8, which is recommended, DMC number 8, which is recommended by a lot of hand quilters, using sharps, and this thimble, which I have a couple thimbles in my cart with 1, 2, 3 stitch that just stick on the end of your finger. But I did learn how to rock my needle last night. I actually got the feel for it, and I'm excited to work on this some more. So the pattern is called Winding Waves, and it forms huge circles, which is really cool. So I'll be excited to get this one done so that I can show you the whole quilt. Yeah, so I wanted to share that with you, and yeah, so that's what I was working on this month too, and I'm super happy with my stand. Of course, I would love to have a long arm, but it's just not in the budget for us right now, and this is great. I think learning how to hand quilt is a good thing, so I will keep you posted on my progress. It's going to take me a while, but not as long as I was thinking before I actually sat down and tried working on it. So alrighty, thanks for letting me share this with you, and I will get back to the video. Okay, thank you. So thank you again. I will see you again in my next Flosstube, which I'm hoping is a couple of weeks. And until then, happy stitching. Thank you so much. Be safe. Stay well. All right. See you. Thank you.